happens next.
He has been listed as a viable suspect, and it has been said that he had the motive, the opportunity.
The man accused of starting the holy fire in court today, while his attorney is arguing there's a potential second suspect.
Now, live from the Desert's news leader, this is Breaking News.
Hello, I'm John White.
And I'm Karen Devine. Firefighters still on scene after a business complex went up in flames in Cathedral City tonight. News Channel 3's Lauren Coronado is live on scene with up-to-the-minute details. And Lauren, I know you've spoken with several people now. What have you learned?
Yeah, the battalion chief just told me, I spoke with him about 3 minutes ago, they've opened up part of Perez Road near the Ice Castle area, and now the portion that's closed is on Perez between Summit and Date Palm. Now, I want to show you guys the scene. There are still a lot of personnel out here. That's the battalion chief I was talking to earlier. He's still gathering with other agencies, talking about just how many personnel they've had on scene. But if you walk with me this way, the fire really started on the west side of the building, on the side we're standing right now, and you can see here they had a ladder, so they really took that overhead approach. They had a lot of firefighters on the roof. That entire portion of the roof, from what we were able to see, is completely gone, so they really tackled those flames. They also had a lot of firefighters inside of the building as well. That building 68860. We're still not sure what it's occupied by or who it's occupied by. We do know that there was a sign on the door that said Health Market. We believe that could be an insurance company. That was just a quick search that I was able to find. We also know that there is a marijuana facility around here and also a desert orthodontics, I believe, from what I can see out here. Again, a multi-agency approach. We have Palm Springs Fire, Cathedral City Fire, and Riverside Cal Fire. We've also seen a lot of paramedics. I don't believe there have been any injuries, but I want to show you this one here. Cathedral City Fire paramedic has been on scene, and over to the right we've also seen another paramedic. So they really have all hands on deck. In the past hour and a half or so that we've been here, we have started to see a lot of the different engines start leaving, so this is 100% contained. They're just mopping up for now. The battalion chief I did talk to tells me that you can expect to still see this road closed off and that they'll be here for the next several hours. As far as the cause, that still remains under investigation, and we're going to hope to get that interview with the battalion chief that I spoke to not too long ago. Of course, their hands are full. They're still busy, and he's talking with other chiefs about just how many personnel have been on scene. Reporting live in Cathedral City, Lauren Coronado, News Channel 3.
Year vote 2018, two new Indio City Council members are sworn in tonight despite a pending recount expected next week. News Channel 3's Lauren Coronado was there tonight before heading out to this breaking story. One of those new council members being Wayman Furman, who defeated Mike Wilson to represent the 2nd District. He won by 4 percentage points. Wilson was out sick tonight, according to council members. Anyway, Lauren did report on this and filed this report earlier.
Do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States. The Constitution of the United States.
Oscar Ortiz and Wayman Furman taking the oath of office, joining Indio City Council as the newest council members. A contentious race to represent Indio's 2nd District between former Mayor Mike Wilson and Furman. Furman winning his seat by 4% of votes. But for Wilson, it's not over. He's asked for a recount, costing him more than $2,600 just for the first day deposit. More than 4,000 ballots need to be recounted, which will be processed by 2 recount boards Tuesday morning. That's according to a spokesperson for the Riverside County Registrar of Voters. Furman tells me he's wishing Wilson well.
He has a right to recount, and I have no comment further on that.
The council chambers at maximum capacity. Some people praising Wilson for his recount request.
We have to fight for our votes. We have to fight for what we believe in. And this is pretty crummy. So I absolutely think he's doing the right thing.
While others are embracing change.
Things are looking up, so I'm happy to see new blood.
The new council members receiving a traditional blessing after their swearing in. Reporting in Indio, Lauren Coronado, News Channel 3.
Elaine Holmes and Belvina Ramirez, returning council members, were also sworn in tonight. As far as the recount goes, both parties are allowed to have 3 representatives present in the recount area next week. Stay with News Channel 3 for any new developments.
The Palm Springs Planning Commission is approving a 3-year extension to Grit development on the Virgin Hotel project downtown. The commission voted in favor of the extension 5-2 after an hour of heated arguments. Grit principal Michael Braun laid down his reasons for the extension, focusing on financing issues that could arise from a lawsuit over prevailing wages being required on the downtown project. The commission also discussed that Grit Developments needs to have construction sites cleaned up by the end of next March after complaints that it looked like an eyesore. Many of the planning commissioners felt having the Virgin brand in downtown Palm Springs is good for the city, so they decided to grant the delay.
Thousands of Catholics finished a 32-mile walk from Palm Springs all the way to Coachella tonight to honor Our Lady of Guadalupe. An estimated 10,000 people began the journey this morning to honor the Catholic figure who church teachings say miraculously appeared before man in Mexico 500 years ago. Look at this video from our News Channel 3 news drone. Many people saying they were driven to walk today by their faith and gratitude.
She does a lot of miracles for us and for the rest of the community. She's helped a lot of people with like immigration's part. She's relieved people from like cancer, like a lot of things.
The event has gone on for 18 years here in the Valley, with organizers working with multiple cities. Their final destination was Our Lady of Soledad Church in Coachella.
December in the desert continues to please weather-wise. First Alert Chief Meteorologist Haley Clausen tracking your conditions tonight. Haley, mornings are a bit chilly, but we're warming up nicely in the afternoons. Will that continue?
It certainly will. We've been enjoying temperatures that are actually above seasonal norms for this time of year. Not by anything too extreme, but no, not quite December-like as what the average would say. But I mean, right now, 59 degrees in Palm Springs. That's cool. This morning, waking up to a temperature of 48 degrees in Palm Springs. So many of you will find yourselves in the 40s yet again tomorrow afternoon. The good news is no wind here in the Coachella Valley. The strongest gust, 12 miles per hour. A little bit stronger conditions right along the mountain slopes, but west of the Coachella Valley. A little bit of a Santa Ana wind pattern picking up, but this is not something that's going to be influencing those of us here. Just something to keep in mind if you do have any plans to travel over Highway 74, you'll be encountering a little bit more of that wind action. For tomorrow, lots of sunshine, afternoon high temperatures finding themselves in the low 70s. Clouds are on the way. I'm tracking them in my complete First Alert forecast.
Thank you, Haley.
Thank you, Haley. The lawyer of a man accused of starting the Holy Fire says they have the wrong man.
Next on News Channel 3, why they believe a volunteer fire chief started it.
And an update on road repairs in our local mountains. You're watching News Channel 3, the Desert's news leader. The man accused of starting the Holy Fire last August is pleading not guilty to arson charges. 51-year-old Forrest Gordon Clark's arraignment taking place in an Orange County courtroom today after originally being postponed due to multiple outbursts by Clark during the proceedings. Clark's attorney cited a new police report today from arson investigators saying a volunteer fire chief may have potentially maybe a second suspect in starting the Holy Fire.
It's Michael Milligan, the volunteer fire chief. He has been listed as a viable suspect, and it has been said that he had the motive, the opportunity. There's a lot more coming out that I am still looking into, and I want the truth.
Clark is due back in court for a pretrial hearing next week. He remains in jail being held on $1 million bail.
Highway 243 back open between Banning and Idlewild tonight after being shut down for almost a week. The closure creating a headache for mountain visitors and business owners. The emergency safety project blocked the road off at Fulmore Lake but has been lifted tonight. Caltrans says they have finished replacing 120 feet of pipe underground earlier than originally expected. They say they will continue to work over the next few weeks to complete all the repairs necessary and will provide updates if roads are shut down again.
Outcry tonight from some neighbors in La Quinta asking for more police patrols after a man says he was assaulted and robbed at gunpoint. Garrett Harker says he was walking home from the gym last night when he was attacked by 2 men from behind at La Quinta Park at Westward Ho and Adams. The armed robbery suspects asking for everything he had and took off with Harker's phone, keys, and wallet.
I was considering running away but they had a gun on me and they were pointing it at me from about like four feet away.
Riverside County Sheriff's deputies told our reporter they're still looking for suspects, and the incident, they say, at the park is isolated.
2 people charged with robbing a Beaumont business pleaded not guilty today. 31-year-old Kristen Renee Schmidt of Arizona allegedly demanded cash at gunpoint from a clerk at a business in Beaumont on Friday. 28-year-old David Lee Harrison of Whitewater was the getaway driver. The car used in the robbery was spotted by police officers the next day. Harrison was arrested for parole violation along with charges related to the robbery. Both defendants were charged with robbery and allegations of committing a felony while using a firearm, while Schmidt was additionally charged with possession of controlled substances while armed. The pair set to return to court December 21st for a felony settlement conference.
President Trump's former personal attorney is going to prison.
Next on News Channel 3, what he's saying about the punishment for covering for the president.
And the clear skies are with us for tonight. They're going to even be with us for tomorrow, but by the end of this week, more clouds will be on their way. I'm tracking them all. I'll show you their arrival and their departure times coming up next. You're watching News Channel 3, the Desert's news leader.
President Trump's longtime personal attorney, Michael Cohen, now facing a 3-year prison sentence. As Peter Thomas reports, Cohen is the first member of Trump's inner circle to receive a significant prison term in connection with special counsel Robert Mueller's investigation.
Michael Cohen arriving at court today, clutching the arm of his heartbroken daughter.
Hey, Michael, you're afraid!
Hoping for mercy, he took full responsibility for his crimes. The personal ones to me, he said, and those involving the President of the United States. Prosecutors say Cohen acted in coordination with and at the direction of Individual 1, a.k.a. Donald Trump, when he facilitated hush money payments to porn star Stormy Daniels and Playboy playmate Karen McDougal so they wouldn't go public before the election. Cohen once said he would take a bullet for his boss.
I'm obviously very loyal and very dedicated to Mr. Trump.
But today, Cohen told the judge he has been living in a personal and mental incarceration ever since he went to work for Trump more than a decade ago. It was my own weakness and a blind loyalty to this man that led me to choose a path of darkness over light, he said. I felt it was my duty to cover up his dirty deeds. President Trump's story about the hush payments has changed over time. First, he told the American people he knew nothing.
Did you know about the $130,000 payment to Stormy Daniels?
Then he said he only knew after the fact.
Did you know about the payments?
Later on, I knew. Later on.
Now he calls the Stormy Daniels deal a simple private transaction, pointing the finger back at Michael Cohen. But today in court, Cohen emotionally declared he'll fight to make sure history doesn't remember him as the villain. His voice cracking, he described the shame he'd brought on his wife, children, and elderly parents, all of whom were in court. But the judge was unmoved, sentencing Cohen to 3 years in prison for what he called a veritable smorgasbord of fraud, saying Cohen had lost his moral compass. Cohen has spent more than 70 hours with Robert Mueller's investigators as well. And today, the special counsel prosecutors told the court he offered them substantial assistance, including credible and valuable information. And they said they expect him to continue to do so. Pierre Thomas, ABC News, New York.
Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Haley Clausen.
When we look at this map, we always see a lot of colors. So what's actually happening? This U shape right here, this is the trough of low pressure I've been tracking for the past few days. It's well off towards the east, and its place a ridge of high pressure building right along the west coast. And this is the reason we're enjoying a lot of sunshine now and why we will continue to experience similar conditions into our Thursday. Now keep this pattern in mind. See this dome shape right here? All right, ready? Watch when I go to satellite and radar. Imagine that dome being right there again. Here it is. What's towards the north? All of the moisture. So that ridge is blocking the moisture from actually reaching us. That's why we're experiencing those clear skies, why we will continue to experience them as we head into tomorrow. So even when we're looking at our water vapor imagery, we're not seeing a whole lot that's actually influencing California. Today's temperature in Palm Springs this afternoon coming in at 73 degrees. Our morning low, though, at 48. Chilly start, no doubt, but actually what we're experiencing both in the morning and in the afternoon is above what's considered normal for this time of year. An normal high would be in the upper 60s, a normal low would be in the mid 40s. This is very comfortable though, so let's just go ahead and keep this going, even though tomorrow's actually looking to be slightly cooler. Clear skies with us for tonight, more clear conditions with us for our Thursday, but watch what happens on Friday morning. Those clouds begin to enter from the west, and they'll continue to push further inland as we head throughout the day. So Friday is going to be a cloudy day. That's how our temperatures could even be a little bit cooler, because all of the clouds limit that amount of warming that we could be receiving from the sunshine. So tomorrow, a little bit cooler than today, continued cooling into Friday. Some valley cities won't even be breaking out of the 60s. It's not going to last for long though. If you're headed out early tomorrow morning, well, one should be asleep right now, but clear skies will be with you. And don't forget to take that light jacket, because temperatures will be dipping down into the 40s and then slow to warm up into the low 50s by 7 a.m. Then we're talking upper 50s by 8 a.m. That continued warming will still be taking place into the low 70s for tomorrow afternoon. So similar to what we felt today, just a little bit cooler. For your 7-day forecast, plenty of 70s staying with us throughout that. But again, on Friday, because of the arrival of those clouds, many valley cities will find themselves just in the 60s, never actually reaching that 70 mark. That's Friday for you. The sun returns with us for Saturday, Sunday, and temperatures get just a little bit warmer again.
I see that, but I saw the 78 there at the end. In another
we'll
week.
Begin to warm up. Yeah, we're always doing this little roller coaster pattern, but right now what we're feeling is still above seasonal norms, but it's very comfortable out there.
Okay.
Sounds good. Thank you, Lily.
Thank you. Well, a mountain lion is dead tonight after killing several livestock at a home in Yucca Valley this week. Last night, sheriff's deputies and California Fish and Wildlife officers were called to a home in Yucca Valley for a second time for a mountain lion that had killed a homeowner's livestock. The lion had killed several animals before. The deputies then successfully chased that lion from the area that night. Deputies consulted with Fish and Wildlife officers and determined the lion posed an immediate and ongoing threat and had to be put down. This lion is believed to be responsible for several other animal attacks reported in the area over the past several months.
A proposed tax on texting in California.
Next on News Channel 3, when the California Public Utilities Commission will vote on the proposal and how the tax money would be used. You're watching the Desert's News Leader. Could Californians soon be paying a texting tax? Well, the state's Public Utilities Commission plans a vote in January on adding a surcharge for text messages, specifically text messages sent to your cell phone, not for services like Apple iMessage or Facebook Messenger. Details of how the surcharge could be applied, such as whether it will be per text or a minimum number of texts, have not been released. But word of the proposal has some critics up in arms.
When hardworking Californians are already feeling taxed and feed to death, that not every idea needs a new tax to fund it. And here's a great example. The CPUC is sitting on $1 billion for this purpose.
Now, Gardino of the Silicon Valley leadership is referring to the Public Purpose Program. It charges customers a fee for phone service, and that money goes to fund programs for the poor. Critics also say translating cell phone bills are hard enough, even without the texting tax. The commission says the proposal seeks to clarify rules on whether texting can indeed be taxed. If not, the commission warns that charges could increase for voice service.
More than 100 golfers, 36 teams, and a sold-out field teed up in Palm Springs today, all to raise money for a good cause. The 8th annual club's For Kids charity golf tournament taking place at the Ascena Golf Club. Proceeds going to the Boys and Girls Club of Palm Springs. It offers after-school programs to kids year-round.
Not only is everybody coming together as a community, but for the club itself, we have been doing this for 70 years. We are the largest after-school provider in Palm Springs.
I was fortunate to MC the luncheon this afternoon. See me right there? You can see one eyeball. Taking a few selfies with the crowd. You can barely see me out to the side. Clubs for Kids is put on by the Palm Springs Hospitality Association and News Channel 3. Happy to be out there as a proud sponsor today.
A beautiful day to do so.
It was gorgeous.
Sports is up next tonight at 11. A fun night of high school hoops around the valley as Desert Empire League play is underway.
Blake will have the highlights and more, featuring a wild finish between Shadow Hills and Palm Desert. And the game of the night, you're watching News Channel 3, the Desert's News Leader.
This is the best local sports show with sports director Blake Arthur.
I've been looking forward to the Basketball Desert Empire League season for a long time. It's supposed to be a lot more competitive, which means a lot more fun for everyone. It's a good thing, and it tipped off in dramatic fashion tonight with a great game. I mean a great game between Shadow Hills and Palm Desert. Intense basketball game. Jim Servin and his Aztecs. Ryan Towner and his Knights. They're without one of their best players, Dominic Escobar. He fractured his foot. You hate to see that, but we wish him a speedy recovery. Speaking of speed, this was a fast-paced game. Devin Lopez hits the three. Aztecs by 5 at halftime. Second half, though, was when Shadow made their move. Deontay Strange. Nothing strange about his game. He's a straight baller. Then Strange, the drive, kicks it back out to Jake Abawag for the three. Not in his own gym, but he does get the home bounce. Friendly roll there. More Knights. Abawag to Jake Shipley inside. He's a beast. Puts it up and in for two. Abawag again, the vision. Finds Strange, finishes the alley-oop layup. That tied the game at 40. And here's Shadow extending their lead. They're up 3, will make it 6. Abawag, pick and pop. Jesse Rodriguez, not many minutes for him, but a huge triple right there, and the bench loves it. But DeAndre Sanders, bottom right of your screen, he'd pull up and, well, ice in his veins. So it's a 6-point game with under 2 to play, and PD made a run we knew they would. Devin Lopez, look at the fancy footwork inside, up and in for 2. Then it's Sanders turning some defense into offense, pokes the ball loose, the steal and a lay-in on the other end. PD down 2 with 45 seconds to play. Final moments now, it's Cord Stansberry. The runner there, but Palm Desert would answer back with Lopez. So Knights up 2. 5 seconds left in the game. They missed the free throw, so Palm Desert with a chance. They can tie or take the lead. It's Sanders for 3. No. Almost goes in, but almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. The Knights hang on to win it 60-58 on the road. What a wild way to start Desert Empire League play as the Knights pick up a gritty road win over Palm Desert.
You know, we just had to get it together after halftime. Coach gave us a good speech at halftime, and, you know, we just had to come out here and pull it off against a good team. They're a great team.
They don't quit. That's one thing we'll never do. Whether we're down 20, up 20, we're going to have the same tempo. We're not going to quit. They're fighters, and they proved it again tonight. So, like I said, I'm proud of this young group of guys.
Wow, what a game. All right, more Desert Empire League play. La Quinta at Rancho Mirage. Mason Holcomb for the Blackhawks off the inbounds. Going to knock down the triple. Bang, bang, bang. Hold the finish, young man. Love that. Rancho would respond. Grant Kelly, he's been a beast all year, the sophomore. Sinks the three, and check out Kelly. That was the explosion and the windmill. He had 24 points. He can do whatever he wants. Back to La Quinta. Kamani Nix. Nice stop and pop. He's got some of the best hair in the valley, but Rancho and Rodrigo Jaquez, too much. Jaquez with a game-high 26. Rattlers roll 80-61 over La Quinta. All right, how about Xavier Prep and Palm Springs? Saints hosting the Indians. We know the Indians can play. There's Justin Subcheck and his team. Chris Howard and his team. Indians in the red. And look at the ball movement here. Doesn't even touch the floor. Coach got to love seeing that. We are out of time, but Palm Springs, they would flex their muscles and win this one big, 59-40 over Xavier Prep. Guys, it was a fun night around the valley in Desert Empire League basketball.
Yeah, halfway down the court without a dribble. That's good stuff.
Yeah, that's good right there. You got to share the sugar, John.
Yeah. Thank you, Blake.
It looked like a lot of fun tonight.
All right, today we had a high temperature of 73. Tomorrow, similar, low 70s, but plenty of sunshine, keeping it nice and dry. Clouds return on Friday.
Have a great night.